Welcome to class today, and we're going to get into surface modeling. So far that you have been designing things in wireframe, and this is a method that AutoCAD used. It's kind of the generation before solid modeling, and it was just doing what they call surface modeling. So basically, you don't have a solid product; you're just having a wireframe with just like a cover over it, just like a tent. You got the wireframe, then you've got your canvas that goes on it. It's kind of what this is. Now, there's some tricks to doing this, and we'll get started. You can look at this 3D wireframe in front of us, and the best thing to use on this would be you got to go to meshes, and of course, to start out with, I would just type in 3D face. Alright. Now 3D face, basically all you got to do with it is click all the way around it. Let me go back and redo that again. First, before I do anything, I want to turn this into, I want to change the view of this from a 2D wireframe into a conceptual. And you can see there, I'll delete this out, we'll do it again. Just type in 3D face, and you go around it like this, and it automatically puts a surface cover on there, as you can see. Alright, so it's not really hard at all to do this. Only time you might have any issue is whenever you get to the holes here, and I'll show you that quick method as well. But again, I'll go to this back side, we'll do another 3D face. Just like that. We'll go ahead and do a 3D face to this piece. Uh-oh, I didn't mean to do it there. We'll do a 3D face to the front of this. You have to pick 4 corners and it'll cover it up. You can also copy, just do a copy if you want it to after you get a face done, and move it to the other side over like that. So you can kind of see it now. You're getting a face on it. But now let's show you the next phase of this. I got to fill in this top up here, and I've got a circle. So to be honest with you, I'm going to delete off these sides. That way I can use the wire frame here to work off of. Now, what you need to do is, anytime you got a circle and wireframe, is take you a line, and you're going to take and you're going to trim this out. Just like that. Okay. And the reason that I do that for is this. Again, I want to be on top of this, so I'm going to go to I'll just use 3-point, and I'll put my work plane up here on top of this, my X and Y, as you see. Now, we done 3D face to get these flat faces in there. So now I want to go into mesh, and you got what you got, it's called a ruled mesh. Click on that, come in here, and that's the reason we only took half of the circle, because if I click here, if you click on this side, you got to click over here on this area. And let's do that again. I'm going to click up here to right here. Click there. Okay, I see what's going on. Guys, y'all see this? See where it's a polyline? You got to explode that. So go back and explode it. That way it makes that line by itself. This line's by itself. And we'll come in here now, mesh, do the ruled mesh, and catch over here. You don't want to catch this side and catch this side. You want to stay on the same side. And you all see how that worked? It's bringing it up to it. That's the only reason I didn't leave the whole circle, because if I'd have left the whole circle, it would have tried to cover the whole thing up. But there's something else I want to show you. You see how this is really coarse? You can set that by this. I'm going to delete that out. And it's called Surf Tab 1. Enter. And you see this, it's going to have six lines. And whenever it was around here earlier, remember it real choppy, it just had 6 things going around this. The more you add, the more smoother it's going to be. I can go 20 times, and check this out. I can go back to rolled surfaces, and if you wanted to catch this side, you can catch this side and then catch over here on this side. See how much smoother that is? If you got in here and looked, you'd have 20 little flat surfaces. So the more you put, the more smoother it is, and if that makes some sense to you. Now, with that done, I want to do this. We can go ahead, we can honestly just copy this side of it. Just grab this and just do a mirror. You just got to manipulate this stuff and catch that at its midpoint. To its midpoint. And enter that. And now you have that. I can grab this, I can grab this whole thing, just grab little pieces of that. Now here, so I could just grab this and just copy it down from there down to there. And then I'll grab that whole thing again. We'll do a mirror just the same way we did with the other. I'll do a midpoint, enter that in. So we've got all that in there. So everything's looking good. And to get rid, and now we've got to get rid of this gap, I'm going to do a 3D face. Enter. And I go up here and I grab this point to this point to this point and back up to this point. It fills it in. Do y'all see that? Again, let's do 3D face again. Catch there, to there, to there, and back out to here. Cleans it all up nice and pretty. And I'm going to go into like a realistic mode. Kind of helps you see. Now, the only problem that you're having is you're going to see some lines in this. Y'all see them ugly lines? Well, there's a way to get rid of those, and we'll show you that in just a minute. Let's go ahead and get this back side of it. Again, let's do a 3D face, and we'll go from there, to there, to there, back to there, and we'll fill this in, just like that. So you got all that cleaned up. Now I'm not going to put the ends of that on there until I get this center part done. But there was something I was telling you about. Sometimes they'll have these ugly little lines and stuff, and sometimes if they show up, you've got to do this. Come in here to 2D wireframe first. See those lines? That's just showing you how that's moving into it. Type in edge, enter, or type in edge, enter. And all you have to do is come in here and click on them. But the problem of it is it won't work until you explode these. You got to explode this. And we'll explode this one over here as well. So now we can come in and do our edge command. And when you do an edge command, you just click on it. You're not deleting nothing off, it's just what they call edging. It edges out the little marks. And like I said, whenever you do that Surf Tab 1, the more lines you put in, the longer it takes to do all this. And you all can see, and then when you hit enter or right click, either one, it cleans them off. It didn't get rid of anything. If I go back to my realistic, it just made it smooth. And now you can kind of see over here, if we zoom in, you see those lines, how they're showing up a little bit. This side doesn't show them because we edged them out. So you'd have to do that all the way around it to make it look nice and clean. Alright, So now we're going to go ahead and do one more thing to this, and that is we're going to fill up this hole here. And to do so, hit your line button. I want to bring a line from here to there on the quadrants on that outside piece so you guys can see that. It's kind of hard to see where they're both white. So it's on this outside quadrant, on this outside quadrant. Now what I want to do is, instead of using ruled mesh, this time I want to use tabulated surface. Click on it. Click on your, you got to click the line. Might be kind of hard to click on this line because I can't really see. Here's a line. I click on it, and click on this. And you all can see on this back side a little bit. See how it put that in there? So you had to have a line to show which direction you're going. You first, you got to click on the line itself going around through here, and then you got to click a direction of which way it's going. And you all can see how that put that little hole in there. So what I want to do is grab that, and I'm just going to mirror it over. Mirror it. Should catch this quadrant over here. Alright. And you can see it's kind of choppy. And of course, Surf Tab, the more you put in, the more smooth it's going to be. But again, just like over here now, you can see all this. This needs to be edged out on this side. And of course, to edge, you go in here to 2D wireframe. You got to explode that, which that is exploded. And you want to type in edge command. Again, just start clicking on those. That needs to be clicked. And it'll kind of look like a little perforated hidden line whenever you click on the right ones. And then type in edge again if you want to get all some of the other ones out. Enter that. And you see, and you can do the same thing with these down here. You just got to explode them first before you can edge them out. And but you have to be in 2D wireframe to use the edge command. And you all can see, you can just take off and start clicking on them. It's hard to tell which ones are which here, the way I'm setting. But you all can see how that works. So go back into your realistic look. And now you can see it's got that in, and all thing you'd have to do is just close your ends in by using a 3D face. Just catch those corners 4 times. Puts that on there. Rotate it around, or you can mirror that, whichever way is easier for you. And just that quick and that easy, you've got a 3D surface model. If you have any questions about this, and there's quite a few steps involved, just please contact me.